If you've never done steroids before and you're thinking of starting, then this video is for you, because I learned a lot of lessons about steroids along the way in my journey of competing in powerlifting and bodybuilding about steroids. Owning multiple gyms. I've owned seven gyms, have sat there behind the counter myself on all these gyms, spoke to many members, trained with IFBB pro bodybuilders all over the world. So I know a thing or two about steroids. Now, I did things kind of right and kind of wrong at the start of my steroid taking career, if you want to call it that. So what advice would I give to people, or let's just say myself, let's say myself, okay? What advice would I give to myself if I was to start steroids today, knowing what I know now? Let me talk about the age first and foremost. Age is just a number. Yes, I know, it's not dating, but it is literally just a number. It is all goal dependent. Regardless of your age, you have to make a decision. And this is not for TRT, please. Let me just dismiss TRT. Let's get TRT out of the way. I'll just do a quick video on TRT right now in 20 seconds, and that is, take TRT regardless of age when you feel shit. Get your blood work done. If your test is low, do what you can to manage your testosterone to get back to normal. If that's not working, bang in some TRT. Okay, video done. Now we're going on to steroids. If you want to take steroids, there's only one type of people at one time you should even think about taking steroids. And that is any sport that you're competing in, or you want to be competitive in, or you want to be at the top of the level, allows you to take steroids. Like, I know BJJ now allows it. Certain grapplings event allow it. I'm just trying to think of not the two most popular ones, but let's just go straight into it. Bodybuilding allows it. Strongman allows it. Powerlifting, it allows it. These all have, well, I don't know about strongman, but the other two definitely, tested federations as well. I don't give a shit about tested federation powerlifting. And nor do I give a shit about tested federation bodybuilding. No one watches it. Nobody cares. Okay? Very simple. I think they're all on juice anyway. And how do you determine what's natural and what's not? Because it's legal. The government allow you to take it, so it's legal. But I'll take pro hormones, and I'll take pre-workout, and I'll take SARMs, and I'll take peptides, and Shut up, bro. Gear is gear. You're taking creatine, it's gear. You're taking protein, it's gear. It's not natural, bro. The body doesn't produce any of this shit, okay? So go and tell your I am the righteous, pious person, whatever you are, natty, fake natties. That's what you all are. Anyway, I'm not here to hate on those guys. You keep doing what you want to do, bro. Be skinny all your life. I don't give a shit. Number one thing to think about when you're taking steroids. As I was growing up, yes, I did want to compete. So I had the point right. I was growing up, I was competing. Sorry, I wasn't competing at the time. I was powerlifting, I was bodybuilding, I was training to be strong than most guys. I was looking good, and I was in very good shape. Got to the age where things started to slow down in strength because I got very strong quick. When I mean very strong, I'm talking like 260 deadlift. The other lift was a bit weaker. My squat was pretty decent as well. I think squat was like 200 at the time, 200 for 2 reps. Yes, could I have got stronger before I started? Yes, I could have. But let's just give myself advice. So first things first, age. Doesn't matter about age. I was 22 when I started. I started because I wanted to compete in bodybuilding. I wanted to see if I have what it takes to compete. I didn't compete till later on, but I wanted to see if I could get big enough to compete. And then when I did take steroids, I quickly found out that the food was where I am going to fall. The food intake for me was getting on top. There was nothing I could take to get my food up, and I'll discuss that in another video about GHRP6 and MK677. I was supplemented with them both. For me, didn't really work. But anyway, first things first, I have to answer myself. Do I want to compete? Yes, okay, I want to compete. Now, let me try to get the most out of training naturally first. Do I go to the gym? Every single day, I need to be at the gym and prioritize the gym over every single thing else in life. Have I got that one ticked? Okay, good, done. Am I eating the right food every single day? every single day for a year. Yep, great, ticked. Am I sleeping on time every single day? Okay, good, that ticked. Am I missing social events, like going out, clubbing, meeting girls, doing this, missing holidays, because I want to compete? Yes, good. Okay, great. So you have that now. Now you have the data to know that you really want to do this. Okay, I'm telling myself this. Fadi, you're not going out clubbing. You're not meeting girls. You're not doing this. You're sleeping on time. You're eating the right food. You're training. You've got all these things covered. So now you know if you want to compete with the big boys for that time, you need to start steroids. What is the first cycle I'm going to do? The first thing that I would do starting steroids is this. Get my blood work done first. Get your blood work done, wait for the results. Nowadays, they're pretty rapid. Like 2-3 days, I think most of my clients are getting blood work. And the results are in straight away. Get blood work done. Hire somebody knowledgeable who can read your blood work. Someone like me. You know, links in the description, always. Hire somebody who can read your blood work. Now, don't tell them to give you advice on steroids or non-steroids, or shall I do this, shall I do that? It doesn't matter. It could even be a doctor. This could even be a GP. Is there anything wrong? Is your cholesterol in check? Yes, okay, great. Is your red blood cell? Yeah, your hematocrit, your liver enzymes, your FSH, your LH, your testosterone, your estrogen, everything's in check. Okay, great. Are there any standout issues? No. Okay. We've got that one ticked off now. Now we are ready for steroids. The number one thing that I would do for taking anything is hire a coach. Hire a coach and show him this video and say, this is what I want to do because I know it's the safest thing to do. Can you talk me through or guide me through this process step by step with a good diet plan and a training plan for my goal, which is strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, or whatever that might be. That's what you need to do, because if you are not competing, if you do not have aspirations to take this to the next level, if this is only for a holiday, do not do anything to mess yourself up long term. Simple as. I know you're going to watch this video thinking, what's this guy on about, right? So now we've got all these things sorted, taken care of. We've got the coach ready to guide us. We've booked Fadi Hussein. We know exactly what to do. Now we're going to take advice from this video and start some steroids. First thing you'd want to do, and what I would give myself advice to do, was I would buy 10 mil, because you can't buy less, of testosterone adanthate, 250 milligram. Aim for the farmer grade stuff. Don't be cheap. Don't cheap out on anything. Get the farmer grade stuff. Get the farmer grade stuff, load your pins up, and you want to be taking. I know people aren't going to agree with this. Some of you might, some of you might not. You want to be taking 0.5 mil Monday, 0.5 mil Thursday, 1 mil per week, 250 milligrams per week. You want to be taking Proviron, 25 milligram every single day to battle any estrogenic side effects. That is it, bro. Nothing else. You run that for 10 weeks. Now, before the end of the 10 weeks, so let's say on week 8 or week 9, you look at your body in the mirror from week 1 to week 8. Training's right, eating's right, sleeping's right, everything else is right, taking the gear's right. How has your body changed? Have you got closer to your goal? In this time period, this 8 weeks, you should have drastic, I'm talking out of this world, changes. You should look in the mirror and look at yourself and think, wow, this would have been impossible. This would have never ever have been achievable in a whole year, what I've managed to do in 8 weeks. Now, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, shit, bro, kinda look the same, things haven't changed much, quit right now. Give yourself a reality check. Hire me as your coach, hire another coach. Say, listen, bro, here's my before 8 weeks, this is my after 8 weeks. 1 mil a week. Proviron every single day. Have I got what it takes? If right there and then you know steroids are not for you, shouldn't compete in strongman, not just visually, sorry, let me just go on as well. If your lifts haven't improved in 8 weeks, if endurance, your speed, your strength, your physical capability to do strongman or powerlifting hasn't improved in 8 weeks, not just physically, looks-wise, and you haven't grown into a larger being in 8 weeks with the right supplementation and the right diet and the right nutritional plan, it is not for you. Tell myself, Faddy, bro, listen, you look good, bro, okay, but bodybuilding ain't for you. Quit taking the steroids, come off. The protocol for coming off will be in another video, or hire me as your coach. Come off, and then just keep on training, enjoy life as a normal guy like I do now. That's it. That's for you, bro. You're not genetically blessed in any of those games. Go and do whatever you want to do naturally, enjoy it. You're going to get to a point where you're going to get bored of this, just enjoy it, bro. You don't need to go for no world records. It's very simple. That's the advice I'd give myself. That's the advice I'd give every single kid, man, adult out there, starting their first ever steroid cycle. See if this game is for you. That's the main thing. In them 8 weeks, you'll be able to tell. Then you've still got 2 more weeks left of the gear. You continue those 2 more weeks. It's a 10-week cycle. Jump on and off it. If you feel you have what it takes in those 8 weeks, you will enjoy the feeling, you know what's happening, the changes are happening, you're growing, you're getting stronger, and you're thinking, yes, I'm good now. I know exactly what to do. Don't stop the cycle right there. The first thing you want to do is you want to then hire somebody, again, the same coach or me, and say, right, we made this much drastic change in 8 weeks. Where shall we go from here? Then somebody can say, okay, we started to do bodybuilding, but because of your strength, I think we can enter a powerlifting comp. Go and compete, see if it's for you. Okay, we've done this. Let's do another off-season cycle for another 10 weeks, see how much more muscle we can add, then cut it back, do a cut, let's jump on stage, let's see where you are, let's gauge where you are, what your body's gonna look like. Now remember, this is somebody who's been training a very long time. Do not jump on steroids straight away. Have at least a few years under your belt of training, of eating right, of dieting, all those things that I told you to tick off at the start. Make sure you covered all bases and exhausted them to the maximum first. Or at least 80%, 90%, close to maximum. Because then, you know, if the ultimate goal is to compete and to get big and to get the pro card and to climb up the pro ranks, you don't have to go all the way naturally. You don't have to. You know, there's some certain guys, like, if I was to give you an example, who would I say who did it? Kai Green. Kai Green was a guy, if you watched him, stayed natural for 10 years too long. Turned pro, never won the Olympia. He's a bit of a weird guy, but you get what I'm trying to say. He could have taken steroids earlier, but he wanted to stay natural for a very long time. So you don't need to do that. I'm not saying you to do that, but the point I'm trying to say is you need to at least maximize your body. So if I'm talking to myself again, let me go back to give myself advice. 1 shot a week, split into 2 doses, 25 milligram per viral, 8 weeks, address it, see where you are, and then decide right there and then, do I want to do this? Now, let's, while we're here, talk about cycle 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. I would not, at that stage, consider coming off and doing Clomid and Novadex and HCG. I would not do it. I would stay on for at least 24 weeks. Now, let me explain to you why. The last thing you want to do when you're taking steroids is yo-yo, go up and down, especially for your first cycle. Stay on for as long as possible, 20 weeks, start coming off into 24 weeks, solidify those gains, make sure you're eating plenty of food, make sure you're doing the right training, make sure you're not unhealthy, make sure everything's fine. Do the blood work when you're on as well at week, like maybe week 12, do some more blood work, run it all the way through to week 24, which brings us to around about half the year. Week 26 is, half the year. That is how I would do my first ever steroid cycle. And talking about number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 as well, let's just get into that. I would run the same amount, just the 1 mil a test, for at least a year and a half. So come off, come off for a couple of weeks, start again, because you know you're going to go back on anyway, so there's no point going crazy. Come off for a month, blood work good, okay, let's go back on again for another 24 weeks. That is how I would do my first, second, possibly third cycle, and then moving on from there, Come on, then we come into coaching, guys. I can't be giving all the secrets away just yet, but that is the safest way to take steroids. Hopefully you got value from this video. Comment down below. Please subscribe. And just another disclaimer on this. Remember, this is advice I would give to myself, not to you guys, to myself. If I was to start my steroid journey again, I would be doing this same stack, same cycle for 2 years before I even think about touching anything else. So this isn't advice to anyone out there, so don't be saying Fadi's giving advice out on the internet. I'm not. I'm just giving advice to my younger self.